Hello, dear aspirants. Welcome to English Literature and Language Academy. Hope you are all well and doing well in your study. So, this video is very helpful for your upcoming UGC-NET exam, SLET exam, Assistant Professor exam, Lecturer's exam, and Teacher's exam. So, hope it will be very useful for your exams. And please do subscribe our channel and like and share, give feedback in the comment section. And very important, don't forget to follow description box in which we have given telegram links and other useful video links. Let's move on to today's topic. Sonnet. Today's topic is sonnet. S-O-N-N-E-T. Sonnet. So this is a very important genre or subgenre of poetry, and it has been very famous for centuries. And in exam, you can take any exam, NET exam, SLET exam, or KSET exam, HSTR exam, GPSTR exam, and very importantly KEA assistant professor exams and PU English lecturer exams, in which at least 2 or 3 questions are based on this topic, sonnet. So in this context, we have selected the topic sonnet, and we are going to discuss the topic in detail from the exam point of view. Let's move on without wasting our time. So introduction, it means background of sonnet. See where it has begun. Actually, the sonnet form began in Italy, and the word sonnet came from sonetto. Look at the word sonetto. Origin of this word is Italy. What does mean by sonetto? A little sound. A little sound. In other word, song. So please remember, sonnet means a little sound or song. Petrarch, look at the name. Petrarch was the father of sonnet form. So please remember, Petrarch was the father of sonnet form. Why? Because he widely practiced and popularized this poetic form. It means sonnet form was popularized and he brought the perfection to this poetic form, that is sonnet. That is why he was the father of sonnet. So let's see the meaning of sonnet. Sonnet is a poetic form of 14 lines. A poetic form of 14 lines and iambic. Look at the word iambic, pentameter, and intricate rhyming scheme. There is a particular rhyming scheme with different variations. Look at once again the definition of sonnet. It is a poetic form of 14 lines and iambic pentameter, an intricate of rhyming scheme with different variations. So it's called sonnet. So please note down this definition. This definition describes the real features of sonnet or the shape of the sonnets. Let's understand in detail what these terms. So as we know, sonnet is a lyric poem. Sonnet is a lyric poem. In exam, they may ask you directly question, sonnet is a lyric poem. True or false? Sometime that is the true. And writer of sonnets is known as sonneteers. Look at sonneteers. So spelling is very important. So sometime they asked in exams spelling of the particular word, sonneteers. A single stanza of 14 iambic pentameter. Look at a single stanza of 14 iambic pentameter. So let's see there is a kind of word we need to understand. The word is I am. What is I am? I am means metrical food in verse or poetry. Verse means poetry. Stressed, look at stressed. Stressed means strong, and unstressed means weak syllable. So it means I am means there is a metrical foot in verse form. In beginning they have stressed syllable and next unstressed syllable. So this is the first feature of our identification of sonnet. And the next feature is pentameter. Look at the word penta. Look at poetic line of 5. Look at penta means 5 metrical feet is called pentameter. Next, foot. Look at the word foot. Foot mean a basic rhythm. Look at basic rhythm. So what is the plural form of foot? That is feet. So this is a very important part in any poetry or any poetic genres. So foot means basic rhythm. Rhythm means here sound, and syllable means single sound. So these are the very important terms in sonnet. One is I am, another one is pentameter, another one is foot, another one is syllable. So these combination of these terms become sonnet. Hope you understood the concept sonnet. Please remember sonnet is a lyric poem. Okay. So let's move on. Forms of sonnets. Look at, there are three forms. Forms also known as patterns or types. These all three terms, forms, patterns, types, are the same. So there are three types of sonnet. The first one is Petrarchan sonnet. Second one is Shakespearean sonnet. Third one is Spenserian sonnet. Once again, the first one is Petrarchan sonnet. Second one is Shakespearean sonnet. Third one is Spenserian sonnet. So let us analyze one by one. Petrarchan sonnet. Look at the pronunciation. Petrarchan sonnet. It was named after the famous Italian poet, that is Petrarch. We already discussed about Petrarch. He was the father of sonnet form. So this name was given after him. He belongs to which country? Italy. Please remember Italy. And this sonnet pattern is also known as Italian sonnet because it was originated in Italy. Okay. So let's see the structure of Petrarchan sonnet. This has two parts. How many parts? Two parts. So let's see the names of the parts. The first part name is octave. Second part is sestet. So look at the meaning of octave. Octave means 8 lines. Sestet means 6 lines. Okay. So it has a particular rhyming scheme. Octave has 8 lines. Look at the 8-line rhyming scheme. A, B, B. A. First 4 Abba. Second Abba. Look at A, B, B, A. A, B, B, A. You can remember it as Abba and Abba. Okay. And next sestet. Look at 6 lines. Here C, D. Look, E, C, D. Or alternatively C, D, C, C, D, C. These are the rhyming scheme of sestet. Look at once again, Petrarchan sonnet has two parts, octave and sestet. Sestet, octave 8 lines, sestet 6 lines. Okay, this is how we try to understand Petrarchan sonnet. Let us see one example for the Petrarchan sonnet. There is a poem called The New Colossus by Emma Lazarus. in this poem, please note down this poem. With this poem you can understand the Petrarchan rhyming scheme. There are two parts, octave and sestet. Okay, look at what happens here. In octave introduces or describes the Statue of Liberty in this poem, the new classes, and sestet is what the Statue of Liberty speaks. How this is the Petrarchan sonnet exemplified. Please note down this poem. You can Google this poem. You will find the structure of this Petrarchan sonnet. Okay. Now let us understand some facts about Petrarchan sonnet. This is very important, and this type of facts will be asked in the exam. So let's see. This form of sonnet, Petrarchan sonnet, was introduced in England by Thomas Watt. Who introduced this form of sonnet? Thomas Watt in 16th century. It is an age of Elizabeth. Please remember, 16th century is known as age of Elizabeth. Thomas Watt introduced in England. So what are the general themes in this sonnet, Petrarchan sonnet? That is hopes and pains. Look at hopes and pains of adoring male lover. Adoring male lover. And let's see who are the great practitioners of this Petrarchan sonnet form. That is Milton, Wordsworth, Rossetti's brothers. And here modification has been happened in this Petrarchan sonnet. With the passage of time, technically it has been used in various metrical forms. Means timely it has been changed. Okay, these are the important facts about Petrarchan sonnet. Now let's move on the second pattern or second form of sonnet that is very popular in literary world, that is Shakespearean sonnet. So this sonnet is also known as English sonnet. And who introduced this form of sonnet? In England, Henry Howard. He was popularly known as Earl of Surrey. Earl of Surrey. His real name is Henry Howard. He was introduced English form of sonnet in England in 16th century. So please remember, Petrarchan sonnet was introduced by Watt, and new form of English sonnet was introduced by Henry Howard. And these two people are these two literary figures were the friends and contemporaries, Henry Howard and Watt. And why this name Shakespearean sonnet came to this form of English sonnet? Because he was practiced and popularized this form of sonnet. He wrote 154 sonnets in this genre. Okay, so in Petrarchan sonnet we got to know that there are two steps. Here look at the structure of the English or Shakespearean sonnet. One is 3 quatrains. Quatrain means 4 lines. Okay, please remember, 3 quatrains, 1 couplet means 2 lines. Look at 12 plus 2, 14. Okay, 14. So what is the rhyming scheme of Shakespearean sonnet? A B A B, C D C D, E F E F, G G. Once again, Shakespearean sonnet rhyming scheme is A B A B, C D C D, E F E F. Finally, couplet is G G. So please note down the rhyming scheme of Shakespearean sonnet. Many times this form of sonnet has asked in the exam. Let us analyze with the poem of Shakespeare, that is sonnet number 116. Look at the rhyming scheme. A B A B, C D C D, E F E F. Finally couplet is G G. Couplet means 2 lines. Quatrain means 4 lines. Okay, so please remember these terms. Okay, now let's move on Third very important sonnet form, that is Spenserian sonnet. Let us see. Spenser was a famous poet of the 16th century, and what is the major difference of his poetic form is that in rhyming scheme. What is the major difference between Spenserian and Shakespearean sonnet? That is only rhyming scheme, and definitely there are 14 lines, but the rhyming scheme is different. Okay, so let us see, in which he links each quatrain to the next containing rhyming. Means, look at with the example we will analyze a rhyming scheme of Spenserian sonnet: AB AB, BC BC, CD CD, finally EE. But Shakespearean sonnet, look at Shakespearean sonnet: AB AB, CD CD, EF, EF, finally GG. Here we cannot have any link, no continuation of this last syllable. But here look at AB, AB, again B is continuing here in second quatrain. Look at C again continuing in the third quatrain. So this is called linking. Look at the word here, links of each quatrain. Okay, links of each quatrain in Spenserian sonnet form. This is the speciality of Spenserian sonnet. Here is the sample for Spenserian sonnet. You will get the sonnet number. Look at here, sonnet by Edmund Spenser. Name of the poem is "Of This World's Theatre in Which We Stay." So this is 16 lines Spenserian sonnet. Okay. Now let's see major themes or subjects in any form of sonnets. So the very first theme is adoration of love. Love is the central theme of any form of sonnet. And sometimes we see sexual love. Very rarely we find this theme in sonnet, but the central theme is love. Okay. Next, some poets used sonnets as religious themes. They used for religious hymn. For example, John Donne. John Donne was a famous English poet of 17th century. He was famous for his metaphysical poetry. He used this sonnet form in his poetry, especially he used in his sonnet writing love. Okay, and serious issues as themes in sonnet form. That form was used by Milton. Okay, now let's see major observations. Look at, these are the statements. These are very important. Such statements directly will be asked in the exam. So look at, sonnet form had been popular in all ages, in all literary periods except neoclassical period. In this age, very rarely used this sonnet form, but in very oftenly was not used in neoclassical period. This was age in 18th century. Please remember, in 18th century sonnet form was not widely used. Please remember, in our upcoming videos we are going to bring different ages of English literature in chronological order. So the second observation is the rhyming pattern of the Petrarchan sonnet has on the whole favored a statement of problem. There is a problem, and next, situation, incident in the octave, and resolution or solution in the last 6 line in sestet. Look at, in sestet we have the particular solution for this octave problems. Okay, next, the rhyming pattern of the English form sometimes used a similar division of metrical, but often presents instead of repetition with variation of a statement in each of the 3 quarters are the uses like epigrammatic turn. Okay, now let's see some related terms of sonnet. Look at, there are some names like sonnet sequence or sonnet cycle. Okay, and another very famous form of sonnet, that is curtal sonnet. So these sonnet forms we will discuss in our upcoming videos. Now let's move on to the final part of this series, that is practice question. Let us see the question. Who among the following was never, look at the word never, written sonnet form? Once again the question, who among the following was never written sonnet form? Option like William Shakespeare, option B Dryden. Don't get confused with Dryden. Here the word is Dryden. Third one is Christopher Marlowe, and fourth one is John Donne. So the answer is, you should answer in the comment section. Okay. Thank you for watching this video. Please do subscribe, share, like and comment in the comment section and answer in the comment section. Okay, and don't forget to follow the description box in which we have given our Telegram channel and more useful video links. Okay, thank you. God bless you. Take care.